Welcome to episode 2, part 2 of Birds Words podcast with our guest, Jerry Crawford. From holding his ground in a firefight to staying faithful to God, Jerry is going to continue his story of fighting off an ambush from NVA regulars that lasted for 5 days, returning home and applying godly principles to his life and this nation. Enjoy the listen where grit and faith meet. Did you have a scripture that came to mind, or did you feel like you were just in constant prayer, just trying to get home?
Well, it was sort of in constant prayer. And then when you had light enough tonight to pull out your little Gideon Bible, you would read. Mm-hmm. Or you'd get down inside, see that's open inside where you stack your ammo 50 on one side and 60s on the other in those cans. Mm-hmm. Then you've got a place there for your bedroll, which usually wasn't nothing but a little old blanket. You'd lay that out on top of those cans to sleep. Mm-hmm. And if you know those metal cans, they don't set even, and they make a rough bed.
Oh, I believe that. Did you? Well, I know you were hurting at the time when you went back, but I bet you appreciated being back in your bed eventually.
Oh yeah, I did. We were out like 3 weeks at a time. Then we'd come back to Black Horse, to the base camp, and be off about down. They call it down for a week. During that time, we could get showers, and we had our own cots and stuff.
Yeah, were you able to relax a little bit, or were you? I mean,
oh yeah,
you had fun, huh?
I never got to see but one little U.S. show that came. Mm-hmm. But most of it was just maintenance, cleaning up, swapping out parts, and whatever you needed to do.
Getting your road ready again.
And then get ready in that week and roll again. Yeah. Sort of like I think of these semi-truck drivers that drive for all the time. Oh, yeah. They're out there rolling, and then when they get a downtime, well, somebody's fixing their vehicle. That's about the way we were.
Well, one of the things I like to learn about is leadership, and I think the world and our nation, you can just see it in the workforce sometimes. Finding a good leader sometimes can be challenging to find. So I'm curious to hear in that adverse environment, that brutal environment you were in, you had men that looked to you. So how did you take care of them and lead them? What are some things that you gained from that?
I showed them respect. Mm-hmm. And I didn't ask them to do anything I wouldn't do. And I never had but one. And that's the little guy from New York that got me bombed out. Yeah, I got on to him a lot. But other than that, the others respected me enough to knew that I was going to guide them back home. Because I've had one or two, after you get there 3 or 4 months and you get a new recruit, you can tell if he's going to act up or how he's going to be, because if he don't ask you no questions, but he's running off over here doing something he's not supposed to.
Well, that sounds like a bird dog you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's like you get a litter that comes in. Yeah. you can find out pretty quick which one's going to be trouble.
But if you get one that wants to sit down and talk with you, come in, Sergeant, how's this going to work? How can I get home alive? Mm-hmm. And wants to follow you.
That's who you want on the team. Right?
That's who you want on the team. Yeah. But you get one that comes in with all he's wanting to do is sightsee, as I call it. He wants to see everything that's going on, but he don't want to be safe about it. And he don't want to follow the leader. It's just a game of follow the leader. Mm-hmm. But it's just like in the Bible. When Peter is telling them in chapter 5, I believe, I am an elder. And he goes down and to about verse 5, and he says, not a lord over God's inheritance, but an example. Mm-hmm. If you show a good example, that's what fathers you. You could, all these churches would divide If they had somebody in there, it's this way. Everybody's going to do what I say. That is not a leader.
Yeah.
That's a dictator to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jesus was the greatest example of a servant leader of all time. He had a job that he needed to do.
Yeah.
He loved his people, and he left the throne of heaven to come down here to the pit and die for us. I mean, that is servant leadership at its absolute finest.
That's right. And see, he picked 12 men.
Changed the world.
And changed the world, yeah.
Yeah, with 12 people.
He lost
sinful, messed up people
world.
just like us, yeah.
And he had one that betrayed him. But then after he seen he betrayed Jesus, he didn't ask for forgiveness. He hung himself. And that's just like Peter that denied him 3 times. He did ask for forgiveness. So a lot of times, if we do things wrong, I hate this word. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Everybody has that answer, even though they did wrong, but they can't explain why they did wrong.
Oh yeah, you're talking about using it as we don't change our course of action. We don't change our behavior. We don't repent of it. We just say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just like these empty. It's just an empty word. And I do think there's a place to say it and mean it and change your life.
Oh yeah.
But definitely not. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not to use it as a crutch every time you do something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Just always using that.
You should use it. If I first tell you, John, I'm sorry, I didn't do what you asked me to do. And then the next time, I say, John, we're going to do it. And I don't show up and I say, oh, I'm sorry. We can't be forgetful.
Well, and you almost, I didn't even like when you said it right then, because I know, well, A, you'd be instantly forgiven, but B, you're the type of person that would, I can already tell, it'd eat you up more than it'd eat me up.
It's got to hurt you.
Yeah, but there's some people that they wouldn't have to even say it, and you can know. There's people like that I know it would just tear them. I feel sorry for them. They say they're sorry, but I feel bad for them because I'm like, man, it's not a big deal.
Some of them is so hard in their heart that the word sorry, 5 minutes later, they don't even remember saying it.
Yeah.
But they'll go back and do the same thing over again. They're so hard. They think that's an excuse to get us Christians to forgive them. Okay, we forgive you.
But we're not going to be completely manipulated and walked over.
But we're not ignorant of what God says.
Yeah. I feel like I remember you telling me about something with eating eggs and bacon. Did you have eggs and bacon in the officers' quarters or something? And
yes. I was on a holdback in camp. My APC and another one. They went out and on road riffs, they took all the cooks and stuff and moved on out. So we raided the supply tent there, the mess tent. We were hungry. And I found tuna fish. Big, they had big cans. One can.
Yeah, I bet that. Yeah,
one can would feed 15 people.
Yeah, and if you're not hungry, it may not mean a lot when you say that. But you're.
So I found that can, and I went over to the next company, and I was talking to the guy over. I said, "You got some eggs?" He said, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "I'm gonna make tuna fish." And he got me some eggs. We went opened that up, and we both took our helmet and boiled our eggs, and I found a
See, that alone is epic right there. So you turn a helmet upside down and you're
filled it with water and put the eggs in it.
Boiling eggs.
Well, one of the other guys that found in that supply tent found some pickles, and one found some mayonnaise. So we made us up some out in the woods tuna fish.
Yeah.
And the guy that I got the eggs from, he said, "You're gonna need some crackers," so he threw us over where we was at, those couple of boxes of crackers. So that's that and water is what we eat.
I feel like one time you told me you scrambled some on the inside of one, on the exhaust manifold.
Oh yeah, that was our cook stove. You get the exhaust manifold on one of them big diesel engines, roaring.
Inside? Is it inside?
It's just inside the.
Where you're all.
Well, we had to pull this plate off the cover on the inside, but you can lay them in there.
So you just say, "Hey Sarge, will you scramble up some eggs over here?" And I mean, what you just have them stuck somewhere? Or?
We had mess kits, and I don't just know if it's hen eggs or if it was duck eggs, because a lot of those little people that you see on the side of the road, they sell you a dozen eggs.
Yeah.
Or
could you trust them? I mean, they just have.
It'd be you catching. I call them granny mama.
Mm-hmm.
You catch that granny mama, she'd have that big thing. She'd have eggs, and she'd have this and that.
So you just pick up some eggs rolling out
and
the road.
You stop. How much, Mama son? She'd tell you, and you'd pay her for a dozen eggs.
You pop that cover off, and you just
you scramble.
You'd have a delicacy.
You just take your mess kit and put a little oil. We'd have people send care package. We'd have some vegetable oil, salt, pepper. We'd have a little bit of everything coming from home.
Yeah.
And we just pop them off. We'd crack those eggs, put them up. But now what you didn't want, you didn't want no duck eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And Mama son be cooking them in a hole. You didn't want to buy none of them. Because most of them was pippin ducks. They had baby ducks.
Oh, man.
And they'd pip them off and they'd eat them baby ducks.
Good.
I couldn't go that now. My stomach,
that doesn't sound appetizing. You got to be ready to fight. You don't want to mess around with that.
But my stomach was tough enough I could take anything. Now, we did find, when we hit a bunker complex, we did have a storage of food. We'd take all the rice out and they'd pour diesel over it and burn it.
So you wouldn't have food to eat? Couldn't take it with you? Or
we could get all the rice we wanted out of it. But what's left over, you wanted to do something with it to keep going from.
Oh, you're talking about the Americans would do that so that they couldn't. You basically just tear up all the supplies to keep them hungry, is what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
But they would have cans, and we'd get some of the cans, we'd open it up. If it's something that we liked, we'd eat it.
Yeah. Did you ever hit any that were defended, that had anybody in them at the time, or?
No. The ones that, they had some in it, but they had just left.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We went into a bunker.
Well, if they saw 10 of y'all coming, they might have had it.
We busted bamboo and we come through and we hit a clearing. There was a SKS rifle standing there, brand new one.
Mm-hmm.
Just standing there.
Yeah.
And
hadn't been gone long, I imagine.
And we looked out and you could see the jungle parting where they was running. Well, we found the bunker. And what we would do is blow the bunker, but we'd always send in
with claymore. Or no, I guess you wouldn't use that grenades, or I mean, what?
No, we had C4.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were using C4. So you throw C4 in there.
The 2.5 APC was demo track. He carried flake TNT.
One of the 10 would just have all the supplies for the explosives.
Yeah, and he would use whoever it was had the knowledge. But we would all help plant C4 and stuff. We'd blow the bunkers.
Yeah.
Oh, when you sent your tunnel rat in, he's usually the smallest man you can find.
Oh, man. I guess.
But you find that tunnel going down into that bunker where he would go in with his 45 and his flashlight. It's a job I never did want.
I'd say not.
But anyway, he'd go in and he'd clear it. And if there was food like rice and ammunition and stuff, it was all, we might have to spend a half a day right there cleaning it out.
So were you staying on the truck when somebody went in? And I mean, I'm imagining he didn't take a radio.
Well, when we went in, your lieutenant or your of the squad he was in charge. Him and his APC, his men would guard the guy that was doing that. The rest of us would be pointing different directions out in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
So that we were protecting that guy's done
right.
that.
While he's doing that, you're holding the perimeter down.
Yeah.
All right.
But like I say, we'd stack all of that stuff out. Sometimes we would just we carried diesel for the engines.
Mm-hmm.
We just take so much diesel and burn it.
Yeah.
Sometimes he would take a set explosives, we'd blow it.
Mm-hmm.
So if they wanted anything to eat, they're going to have to pick it up off the ground, out of the trees, or whatever.
Yeah. There was quite a few, I'm going to just call them bomb dogs. I'm not someone who calls them that, but I guess you didn't have any traveling with y'all.
No.
But they were out there. There was quite a few of them out there.
Yes, we had, I think it was 6 or 8 in my battalion.
I mean, did they ever come in handy with those tunnels, or?
A lot of times, but you still had to have a handler go down in with him.
Oh yeah.
And so if there's anybody in there, they shoot the dog and the handler both. But most of the time, they'd use them like on vacant buildings,
mm-hmm.
or checking vehicles that was coming into the base.
Yeah. Yeah. Did y'all ever get caught up in anything out of the CAF or with any small arms? Did you ever have any conflicts with that, or were you pretty much always by the 50?
I was by the 50, but I have had to use it. Run out of 50, you reach and grab whatever you had.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I had my 45, I had my 16. And I had an M79 grenade launcher.
I don't think you failed to mention that grenade launcher.
Well, every vehicle had one, but it was down there, and I had a bandolier grenades, and then in those grenades you'd have HE, and then you'd have beehive rounds, which is about like shooting a shotgun, 40 millimeter shotgun, and then you'd have white phosphorus.
Yeah.
Willie P. That was things when you run out of your 50. Or I know in one firefight that wasn't 20 miles out of Black Horse towards I can't think of the capital then. It was there.
No.
Hanoi, not Hanoi, but it's a new capital now. But between our base camp and they hit us. And that was a 4-day, 5-night, 4-day battle. But you didn't know what, you just shoot.
Yeah.
And when I came out of there, the back hatch of my...
All right, so things are about to get bad.
Things about to get bad. Yeah, we had talked earlier about the ambushes and stuff we said. About 25 miles out of base camp, we were set up, and they had our ambush. Well, we got hit.
Mm-hmm.
NVA regulars, a full battalion of them was set up in that.
Jeez.
So they hit us. Here come 2nd platoon, 3rd platoon, then another platoon to protect us. And before the night was over, we had Puff the Magic Dragon flying over, dropping flyers and raining down. And that lasted 5 days. And
5 days. Did you get any sleep?
We didn't get no sleep. We just, when one APC run out of ammo, we'd back up to supply, fill up, come back online.
Man.
And that was the worst firefight, because when I come out of it, the hatch on the back of mine had 27 bullet holes.
No kidding.
And Lee Callahan was in 1st platoon. He's a young man, and we still keep in touch. He's from Harrisonburg, West Virginia.
Really?
We met in boot camp.
Stayed friends through the whole thing, huh?
We went to NCOS school, boot camp, AIT, the whole 9 yards. When we got to Vietnam, he was in 1st platoon and I was in 2nd platoon. I think he was on 2-1 and I was on 2-2. But anyway, we met about he came down about 3 years ago, and we talked and way up in the morning, and about how lucky we were to be there, because how many holes we counted on our hatch in the back. And my flight jacket had some in it, but I didn't feel the adrenaline was rushed.
What do you mean your flak jacket? I mean, you didn't realize there was
holes and where the bullets just skipped by.
Yeah.
They tore the outside edge. But when you get in that situation, it's do or die, and you don't even know what's going on. That's just like you when you're in the police. You get to a situation like that.
Yeah.
It's. I got to do your job comes first. Your thought about yourself is second.
Yeah, because if you do your job well, then hopefully everything will work out right and you'll go home. If the Lord protects you through it, yeah.
I've still got about 10 friends that we keep in touch. Christmas cards, birthdays, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That I went through basic and through Vietnam together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like you're fortunate.
I had one, Johnny Clark. He was about 6'4", 230 pounds, black as coal, and we were friends. Mm-hmm. We were buddies. I lost him. I lost him over there. Yeah. We went through NCO school training, and if Johnny Clark had your back, nobody didn't mess with you.
Yeah.
And he was a friend. And
it's a blessing to have good friends like that.
Danny Farmer was a great friend. I can name over several that didn't make it back.
Yeah.
But in life, if you want to set a good role, be a good example, you've got friends for life. Mm-hmm. And I always said it, a good friend is worth more than $1 million. Mm.
I know you mean that. And there's a lot of people that may not understand it or know, but they don't understand until you've had a good one.
That's what that commandment Jesus gives us.
Yeah. Love
one another as thyself. And if you love one good enough, and he is your friend.
Oh yeah.
That's your neighbor. That's your everything. You can do that in marriage.
Yeah.
They'd be less divorces. The people that's getting married would understand it.
So how did y'all get out of that rough spot you're in?
Well, it was they just backed off.
Yeah.
Finally, we bombed them, called in, and puffed a magic dragon.
You just let them have everything you had for 5 days, and they said, "Well,
we give them everything we've got till they had enough."
So what were they dropping? The air support? What all were they doing?
Okay, we back out. They said back out. We moved back like we was leaving. Here they'd come in with napalm and 100-pounders. Plus you had Puff the Magnet Dragon with those quad 50s that's rolling out 3 or 4 places on one of that gunship.
You wanted them on your side, huh? Did the sound ever deter them when they were flying over, and the NVA, did they back off pretty frequently?
all they was hearing is rat-a-tat-tat, those guns. Plus, a quad 50 out of an aircraft can put a bullet every 4 inches square. And if you watch one of a night, he'll go over and he'll drop flares. And they'll be lighting it up so he can see where he's at shooting it. Next thing you've seen, it looks like a big red hose pipe just spreading water as those tracers are coming down.
Were y'all pretty motivated when they came through?
Oh, we every time we get in the skirmish, we was begging for puff.
Who called that in? Did you or did you have to relay it?
That went on higher up to your commanders.
You let them know, hey, it's rough out here.
Lieutenant would come out and he'd call it into your squadron commander, and then he'd call it into the air support.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you got out of that, let them have it, they backed off. All right. So let's see. Is there anything else, any other close calls you had before we go back to when you got hit with that bomb?
No, there's no other.
So
that's just the ones I can remember. There might have been other small ones.
Well, yeah, you were trying to live probably minute by minute out there. Yeah. All right, so the bomb went off and dazed you a little bit.
The bomb went off. It threw me about 15 foot out in the jungle.
I mean, what were you thinking then? I mean,
and it's a daze, just like somebody walks up and sucker punches you. You're standing there for a minute.
You talk about falling off of a horse.
Yeah.
You get knocked 15 feet by a bomb in the jungle, and so you're there,
and then you hear people talking. Well, you're sort of deaf.
I imagine.
And you hear people talking, and then you raise your hand up, and then your mouth won't say anything. Then you finally get their attentions, and they come. They won't throw you on a stretcher. They're not asking you where you're hit or hurt at. And next thing, they move you back out into landing zone.
So were you just focused on, you were just trying to take it all in, ears are ringing your days, or were you thinking, this might be it?
And I thought, well, I'm hurt more than I think I was. And Sergeant Moore, I talked to him in the hospital after that. Another sergeant was there in the 3rd platoon, and he said, "You was asking more about your men than you were."
Well, I said, that does not surprise. That doesn't surprise me one bit.
He said, "You didn't lose any, but they did. They lost you." And we went on talking a while, and but when that happened, they put me back and broke bamboo in a circle. Those tanks just going in a circle to where a chopper come down. They loaded me on
just running protection. They drive around in a circle, and anything that comes up, they light it up.
You're in that bamboo that's 20 foot tall. Mm-hmm. They just take those tanks and
they're using that to clear a landing spot. Oh, okay.
They clear out. They just go around and around the lane. That stalk standing and busted. The chopper landed. It took me to Cameron Bay. I stayed in Cameron Bay, I think, 7 days before they got. After they operated on me, it was 2 days before they could operate on me. It was so busy. But they operated on me and took my car. On the bottom of your spine, you got a pine cone shape. Mm-hmm. They took that off. Mm-hmm. It was busted, shattered. And then they came through. I can't remember how many days I was after surgery. But then the hospital there got hit.
Where you were?
Yeah. They were running through, throwing satchel charges and stuff like that. So the next morning...
You've got to be kidding.
The next morning, they didn't hit the ward that I was in, but they hit some of the other ward. Next morning, the nurse come around, pinned a tag on me. I said, "What's that for?" She said, "You're on, we've got a medevac, big C-47.
About to come in, and you're about to leave."
They come two corpsmen come in, flip me I was on my stomach, but anyway, they flipped me over on my back, and I said, I can't lay that way where this operator. They laid me on my stomach, carried me out stretcher, carried me up in there and hung me. They had this, looked like chains with hooks on them. They'd hang those stretchers in that plane.
And I mean, you were in. I mean, you didn't have your 45, did you?
No, I didn't have nothing.
So they're running through and have busted through the perimeter.
You take a patient. That'd be just like going through a ward up here in the hospital. The patients ain't got no protection except
what they provide. Yeah,
the corpsman and stuff.
Well, that's an uncomfortable thought.
She said, "You're gonna go on a Freedom plane or a medevac plane." And it was a Freedom plane. I flew. I don't know how many hours it took, but we flew from there all the way in to Camp Zama, Japan, which is a 7th Field Hospital. Took me off there, put me in my room. You know how they is, the nurses, they're going to pick and probe at you.
Yeah.
And downstairs in the cedar chest, this 2 guys came through. And it was the Secretary of Defense. And I've got the copy where we took a picture of me and him and thing, and it was in the Herald Citizen back home, man.
What'd he give you? Some candy? No. Hopefully what you deserved.
Now we talked, and he was congratulated me for doing my job and all that, and then I got my Purple Heart.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting on. Yeah, very well earned and deserved and sacrificed for.
And he didn't give me no raise.
No, yeah. That's what you wanted.
$369 a month, combat pay and all. Charlene was getting $300 of it. I was getting $69. She was.
Was she?
Because I didn't need anything. She had expenses back home, but I didn't need anything as far as uniform, food, and everything I kept.
Yeah.
In a 16-ton mobile home to ride in.
So when did you see her for the first time back?
December the 19th, 1969.
Wow, you remember the day.
December the 20th.
You remember the day. You know, you're setting the bar high.
But December the 19th, that was 7 years after we was married. The 19th was our anniversary. I got home on the 20th.
She give you a hard time about that?
No.
I figured she would.
No.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, I shouldn't tell this on her, but the first morning after we got back, it excited her so much, or what Dr. Francis said, that she went into a little seizure.
Oh, no.
And couldn't talk and couldn't breathe. And it was just more of a shock of me being back home. But
that's unreal. I mean, and I know this without asking.
I knew right then. I said, "Well, you love me so much, you put your life on the line too."
Well, this goes without saying, but I imagine you had a lot of people praying for you to bring you back.
Well, I had letters from members of Church of Christ at Baxter.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting letters from all of Daddy's friends that he knew out of the church since he was an elder. And I didn't really have time to answer all the letters that come in. If you're doing your job,
well, yeah, I wouldn't expect you to.
You have time to read them.
Yeah, right. And, I bet it felt good though to see him.
It made you feel good that people were thinking about you.
Yeah, over there in a mess in that relentless place.
That's just like a little lady that taught Sunday school for years, Miss Mabel Stout. We went to Golden Corral Saturday to celebrate her 101st.
Oh, man.
And she still knows everybody. She can't hear good, but like me. But you find people like that. That's a light of your path. Because you respect them.
Psalm 119, I mean, it's similar, yeah.
Yeah, you respect the people, and
well, it's so
we
easy.
all have lights. I call them lights, or stars in our crown. People that we know that would do anything for us if they could.
Well, a lot of people are real hard on the church, and it's easy to be hard on the church and to complain, but I think you've demonstrated that the church has done some incredible things through your life, and I mean throughout the history,
life, yes.
and mine too. I mean, I'm so
I'll
grateful.
tell you, there's been 3 things in my life that I said our government did wrong. Those 3 things is they took away with the draft. They took a discipline out of schools, and they took a Bible out of school.
Yeah, schools.
And because you're teaching the young, I know when I was going to school, we look forward to our turn a lot of times of reading a little scripture, praying, pledge allegiance to the flag.
Yeah.
We learned that from an early age. These kids don't get that now. They don't get the discipline they need to make a pure person out of it.
Yeah, well, I was thankful. There's always good people in there. You know, like when you drop in and you don't know who you're going to get, then, you know, I mean, the people that were with you were lucky that they had somebody that was good, but sometimes there's some bad apples and stuff like that. But a lot of teachers teaching years in my family, and I think that there's good people out there trying to make the schools better. But when you listen to a lot of how things are going with the school, it's rough. It's rough. They're not paid enough, and discipline has shifted. And if you do discipline someone, you're worried that you'll get sued, and it's hard to help people. And when the schools, I mean, private schools are fortunate enough to do that, or they want to. That's fantastic. But to me, the public school, that's where every kid should be able to go and feel safe and to learn and grow and have great mentors and teachers. And there's some scary things out there today happening in the schools.
Well, another point, one-room schools. You got a teacher. She was maybe 2 teachers in it. They taught the kids. They disciplined the kids. Okay. Then you got the kids that went to a larger school and more kids in there and just one teacher's a room per grade. They got away with a lot of stuff that in the one room they didn't.
No.
And today you got, like I said, you took a Bible, you took all the discipline away from them. Today, our larger schools makes fun of a smaller school, but doesn't really show any. It's more of 2 gangs.
Yeah. Instead of working together.
Instead of working together and being neighbors and friends, it's 2 gangs. We're going to have this, and it's just, why should I work when I can take his stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if we fuel some of that culture sometimes with sports and stuff too. I mean, if you go to support some kids, 13, 14, 15, and parents are cussing out the other kids while you're playing ball, that probably doesn't help much.
They'll tell you up here at Upperman. I graduated in '64 from Upperman. When they have their ball games, who do they see? I'm there. I'm an alumni of it. I know Upperman's got a perfect season this year. They had one last year. Went to the state football. But the discipline in those kids that they learn on the field are being partners. It makes a difference. And that's what we've all got to learn the difference. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's President, Putin, or who.
Yeah.
God didn't create him above me or above you. We're all on a straight line and equal.
That's it, yeah.
I think you are. It's all in their heads.
Well, I appreciate everything you've had to say, and I think you're going to touch a lot of people's lives with what you've had to say, and appreciate your service and your example that you set for this country and people at church and your family, and your long, happy marriage that you have. I mean, that is huge. And how many years?
Be 60 years, December the 19th.
December 60 years, December 19th. And so thank you for that, and thanks for your grit and your faith, and I appreciate you. You have any closing thoughts?
Just everybody treat your neighbor as yourself and love them. Teach your kids the responsibility they have growing up so that they can be examples to others. And may God bless everyone.
Well said. All right, appreciate it. Okay. We'll put this one in the books. You just finished listening to episode 2, part 2, with Jerry Crawford on the Birds Words podcast. I was blessed to hear firsthand from a longtime Christian, husband, father, Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart recipient, and friend. If you enjoyed the lessons of grit and faith, give Birds Words a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and social media. If you would like to donate so we can keep this content coming, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Birds Words podcast. My aim is to bring you solid content from people who offer real experience where grit and faith meet, providing insightful discussion that equips you with wisdom, spiritual encouragement, and truth to help you conquer the day.